Emmanuel Manyasa is the Executive Director of Sawa Gender, and Janet Muthoni Ouko, former Education CC Nairobi. And Janet, I'll come to you. This JSS teachers are now protesting. Do we need a complete relook at this CBC system of ours?
I do not think that the JSS issue is a CBC issue as such. And I think that teacher shortage issues have been there for quite a long time. And it was intended that this could probably be a stopgap measure. And I know that the unions have advised that this is not the best way to go, especially in all manners of labor relations. And we have also been on the ground and we have seen how these teachers work. And absolutely, there could probably be no justification for why you arrived at those particular terms. And even looking at pronouncements, even in courts that have termed that illegal, so you'd probably just look at a situation where government sits and actually relooks at the kind of teachers that they want to make available for the education sector. Look at around and really see, do we have resources or don't we have resources? And I have seen even in other places, even when there was the argument about the intern doctors. And we are saying that we cannot have a government that does not have discipline in expenditure, telling other people that there is no money to pay you, that we want to pay you 17,000 to work like donkeys, you know, for a whole 8 hours in a day. Yet the same government is committing some people called CASs and paying them millions, you know. So there is that conversation that really needs to happen between all citizens, so that when you're telling other people that there is no money to pay you, and they're not even asking for much, they're just asking according to pay them like any other teachers, then you want to stop them and tell them that no, we cannot have that conversation with you, but we have seen the conversations that you are having with other people. So I think it's just a matter of, as a country, just looking at what conversations are we having with everybody. Do we have special people? Do we have people that we think we owe much more money? And do we have other people that their work is just to labor for the country?
Yeah.
And I do not think that, because some of those people you even see they are even more qualified than some of the officers that are being fronted to be paid millions. So can we have an honest conversation about us and about our country?
Yeah. So let me bring in Dr. Manyasa here. Manyasa, I was reading one of your reports. It was titled, "Is Our Secondary School System Unjust by Design?" What stood out for you there?
We have designed the school system to be unjust. I think we are in a feudal system. In the feudal system, we had children who are supposed to learn to be the leaders of society, and those who are supposed to be laborers to serve the rest. And I think that we have created a school system that is perpetuating that. And this is what I mean. We went across the country, collected data from over 1,000 secondary schools. Majority of the sub-county schools, first, they don't have teachers, they don't have facilities. They are admitting children who are just growing up in those schools. And that's why every year you have this 40-something thousand is. They all come from those schools, from the sub-county schools. The teachers who are there are qualified, but they are so few, and in some cases employed on board of management terms. And when you speak to the principals, they will tell you that employing teachers on board of management terms is one of the most difficult things. Because you employ teachers today, you train them, they get into the system and start teaching. In 3 months, TSC advertises jobs. They all vacate and go to TSC, and you start recruiting afresh. In the meantime, there's no learning happening. And even when you get them, you are running a small school. You don't have much money. This school is attended by children from very poor households, so parents are not even paying. You don't have money to pay the BOM teachers. If you look at the fee that we have set aside for our day secondary schools, the 12,000, there is no money in it for paying BOM teachers. So when a school has no teachers and they have to hire BOM teachers, how are they supposed to pay them? So these teachers are qualified, they're employed on BOM terms, they hardly get paid, they are paid very little. We looked at the amounts paid, and more than 80% of them are earning below 15,000. A significant percentage is earning less than 10,000, and that money comes intermittently. It's not regular. You are not sure that end of month you get paid.
Yeah.
So those teachers are not able to commit fully to teaching. So we have these children without motivated teachers, without facilities, without,
Is there a direct correlation between the terms of employment and the students' results at the end of it all? Because the JSS teachers
yes,
are protesting,
because if you look at the national schools, they have the highest percentage of their teachers being permanent and pensionable TSC teachers. And you can see the results. And a lot of times people tell us that this is because of the admitted students with the highest marks.
Yeah.
That is not true. Yeah. That is not true. If you control for entry behavior in the analysis, the category of school that a student attends is the highest contributor to their KCSE grade. So if you take 4 children who have scored the same mark in KCPE, take one to a county, another extra county, another sub-county, another national, they get out of Form 4 with different grades.
So it has nothing to do with
have done that
marks.
analysis. So the entry marks is a very minor contributor to the KCSE grade.
Okay.
The main contributor is the facilities in the school. And I feel sad that we are seeing what we are seeing with JSS teachers. Why? Because first of all, the fact that we have employed interns to teach in junior school is sabotaging the CBC. Because junior school is the most important segment of the CBC curriculum. That is where the teacher, the parent, and the learner are supposed to be having constant conversations so that you can guide this learner on the career path that they will take when they get to senior. When you have interns who are there temporarily, who are very young and unable to engage with parents around the learning and the direction their children should take, how can they guide those learners? And especially when they are in these circumstances where they are dissatisfied with the job that they have. Yet that is the most important segment of CBC. So we are actually sabotaging the whole system when we have interns as the teachers in JSS.
Ouko, we have several issues here. There's the funding issue, there's the school teachers shortage, then there's the habitable schools. But we have a situation where now we've opened after floods, and what Manyasa was saying earlier on, the reasons why there's delays, which is the funding is still there. Ideally, what is the best strategy going forward? Should the teachers try to collapse this curriculum or extend the school term by taking into part of the time when they were supposed to be in school, at home, so they're in school now? What is the best strategy going forward?
The saddest bit about all this is that we are looking at school opening as an event. Schools have opened, but are we interested in what is taking place inside that institution? And the concern is, and now when I was coming, I've spoken to several teachers because I really like feeling what is happening to the ground. And they also do not know how learning is going to go on. And the only schools that are going to be learning are boarding schools. Why? Because parents will be bringing in some little money in terms of the school fees. But for day schools, those teachers are confessing that surely we do not have even chalk, we do not have anything. So it is one thing to just see a cabinet secretary announcing that because we delayed for 2 weeks, then we are only extending for 2 weeks. Are there transactions really happening in our schools? Why are we killing our children's potential? And for example, tonight, what reason does the president give that even after delaying opening for 2 weeks, that money has not been sent to schools? It is a very sad evening for us because this country has enjoyed free primary education for over 2 decades, since Mwai Kibaki's time. We have enjoyed free day secondary schooling. This is the 15th year running. But what we are seeing now is an unprecedented withdrawal of government funding from schools, and it is hurting schools. And the truth of the matter right now is that even if schools opened 2 weeks ago, there are so many learners that will not make it to school. As we speak today, even those schools that are not affected by floods, I know that it's only a quarter of children that reported to school. Because why? Because head teachers of primary schools have to make do. There is no this, there is no that. So by the time you're opening, come with 3,000 Kenya shillings. At this time of the day, where are you asking parents to pay? Why are we rolling back the gains that we have made? Why are we deciding that as a country that we are not going to be enjoyed free public schooling? Who made that decision? Who gave that mandate to make that decision? And why are parents paying for something that is otherwise supposed to be paid for by government.
Okay.
And the saddest bit is that there is no accountability. There is nobody that is coming out to tell principals, no, the money has not been sent, it will be sent on Tuesday, or it will not be sent altogether. Everybody is quiet, and the only thing that we are seeing is incitement of parents against school heads, telling parents not to pay money, yet you're not sending money to schools.
Okay.
What kind of an education are we overseeing in this country?
And finally, Dr. Manyasa, what do we do now? We've opened the schools. Capitation is supposed to be 50, 30, 20. It's not coming on time. What do we do now? There's a syllabus to catch up with.
I think that there are several things that we must do. One thing that we must not do is to lose focus of the broader picture of the transition. Because I am getting worried that we might talk about floods until this year ends. And in 1 year's time, we are supposed to transition the current grade 8 to senior school. And there's no plan going on right now. I don't want us to lose that focus. As we talk about floods which are transitory, it's an emergency, it will get sorted out, and I know a lot of development partners are coming on board to help us address that. My call will be that let us be transparent with the resources that are going to go into mitigation of this disaster that has happened. If we are transparent with the resources going into it, we'll be able to overcome it. But as we overcome it, we must stay the course of planning for transition to senior school, which is urgent. It is late. We should have started planning many years ago. We haven't. We should focus on that goal.
All right. Janet?
No, I'm just saying that I know many Kenyans have also seen that the issue of schools opened everywhere. And so many days down the line, we have not even received an accountability statement from anybody, including the PS Belio Kipsang, explaining to Kenyans why are we seeing schools opened somewhere, why are non-existent schools receiving money. And I think this goes to the general accountability, question. And tonight, being that night when Kenyans were talking about the impeachment over CS, I think really the onus is on the president of this country. Please give us accountability in our sectors. Parents want to invest in sectors, but it is disheartening that resources can be sent to some bush in the name of a school somewhere, and there is no statement actually coming from anybody. I do think that really it is taking Kenyans for granted, and it is really heartbreaking.
All right. Thank you so much for making time this evening, Dr. Emmanuel Manyasa, Executive Director of Usawa Agenda, and Janet Muthoni Ouko, former Education CEC, Nairobi County, for having that conversation with us. We're taking a quick break here on Monday Report. When we come